Hare Krishna. Today we are going to speak a very special pastime, special festival in SriRangam that is called as Kaisika Ekadasi. So that day we already spoke little bit about that, something a part of that. So then Kaisika Ekadasi festival day, SriRangam, the two Ekadasis are very highly celebrated. That is, one is the Vaikunta Ekadashi that comes on December and January, and another one is on the Kartika Mas Ekadashi, Shukla Paksha Ekadashi. So that is called as Kaisika Ekadashi. All the SriRangam people will follow this Ekadashi. So this Kaisika Ekadashi day, we already heard how Ranganathji will wear 365 dresses, one after another they will wear 365 dress, and they do 365 Arti for the Lord. Then the Lord will listen to a Puran called Kaisika Puran. So that is very nice story, that Puran. They will read for 2 hours with explanation. So we will tell in short what it is there in the Kaisika Puran. So there is a Parashara Bhatta and Vedavyasa, 2 acharyas, the sons of Kuresha. So they are the qualified people to read this Kaisika Puran. It is actually the part of Varaha Purana. In Varaha Purana, one chapter is there particularly about Kaisika Purana. It's a real story happened in a place called Mahendragiri or Tirukkurungudi in near Tirunelveli, something like 300 kilometers from SriRangam. There is a beautiful place called Mahendragiri Parvata. There this pastime really happened. So that pastime they will again recite for the pleasure of Namperumal during that particular Ekadashi called Mokshada Ekadashi. That day. So that day in front of Ranganathji Namperumal, all the devotees will sit together, and whole night they will nobody goes to sleep on that day. All the daytime they will do fasting, and night time they will listen to this Ekadashi story. That's particularly it's called Kaisika Ekadashi story. So in that it is a very nice story, very interesting story. So I will try to narrate that with the blessings of Namperumal. That is in the story it comes from the Varaha Purana. There Lord Varaha Dev is saying this story to Bhumi Devi. He is speaking to Bhumi Devi after killing the Hiranyaksha demon. Varaha Lakshmi Bhumi Devi asked, "My dear Lord, you have delivered, how the conditioned souls will get delivered?" Like that she is asking. They are planning how to deliver all the conditioned souls. Then the Varasami told, anybody, my dear Bhumi Devi, any devotee who sings the holy name, who sings in glorification about me, for that glorification of that particular song, how many letters are there in that song? For each letter, I will keep them 1,000 years in heavenly planet, Swargaloka. And Varasami is saying that, for in a kirtan, if you do kirtan, for each letter, 1,000 years in heavenly planet itself. Then heavenly planet also, not simply like a ordinary person in heavenly planet. There the Indra will come and do everyday obeisance, namaskar to this devotee who done kirtan. And then after that the devotee, when he fed up with the heavenly planet, then he will go directly to Vaikunta. Like that way the Varaswami is saying to Bhumi Devi. Then Bhumi Devi asked, "My dear Lord, you have spoken so many big things. Did you really did this to any devotee?" Then Varaswami said, "Yes, I did this." Then Varaswami is saying personally, in our south there is a temple called Tirukkurungudi temple, which is now it is known as Mahendragiri. That is also visited by our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu met Parshuramji there in that particular temple. So that temple only this pastime happened. So there, that temple was previously, it was a Varaha Kshetra. Now it is called Vaishnava Nambi. Another deities are there in this Kalpa. Previous Kalpa it was Varaha Puri Kshetra. So there, now the story actually it is narrated by Varaha Dev to Bhumi Devi. Then Varaha Dev is saying that in our south Dakshina Samudra, near to this Dakshina Samudra, there was a temple. In the temple there was one devotee. So he is saying, Varahadev is saying Nampaduvan. His name is saying Nampaduvan. Nam means our singer devotee is saying like that, Nampaduvan. So this Nampaduvan devotee, he is born in a very Chandala family, very low class family. Although he was born in a very low class family, he was a great devotee. He used to always visit this temple and he used to sing in praise of the Lord. So it is his particularly, he will go on ekadasi day to the temple. On ekadasi day night he will go and whole night he will sing the pleasure for the pleasure of the Lord. Then he will come back to his house. That is his custom. So one day, in this way, he is going to this temple, to this Tirupurangudi temple, to glorify the Lord. When he went to glorify the Lord, on the way, unexpectedly, one very big ghost called Brahmarakshas ghost came to attack upon him. So he told, "Hey Brahmarakshasa, please don't kill me. I am going to sing for the pleasure of the Lord. Every Ekadashi I will go for the Kirtan of the Lord. So I will do the Kirtan this night and next day morning I will come back to you. I am promising you that I will go and come back." Then the Brahmarakshasa told, he laughed. Then he told, "After so many days I was hungry. Today I got my food. The Lord only personally sent you as my food. I am going to immediately feast. I am going to eat you." Then this Dampadavan told, "Oh Brahmarakshasa, kindly be kind upon me. I am promising you I will never tell a lie in my life. So I am just doing this for pleasure of my Lord. So I will just sing a song for the Lord and I will come back to you, sure." But Brahmarakshasa is not at all listening to his words. So Brahmarakshasa told, I am not going to leave you, I am going to eat you now only." Then this Dampadavan told, "I am promising you, if I didn't came back to you, then let me get the sin of speaking lies." Means one who promises some satya, if he break his promise from following the truth, what sin he will get? Let me get that sin. So in this way he is saying. Then Brahmarakshasa told, for that kind of false promising and all, there is some prayashita, some atonement is there. You can easily escape with some atonements. So I will not listen to that. So in this way, this Dampadavan, he kept on saying different sins. If I do this sin, what sin I will get? That sin let me get if I didn't came back to you. So it is a very interesting that chapter, that sins they read, 18 types of sins that Dampadavan in those villages he was explaining to this Brahmarakshasa. So now for our realization, for our interest, we will read that again, that what are the sins he is saying and what are how Brahmarakshasa is rejecting everything, but saying that for everything there is a prayachita. So now I will read one after another in Tamil very shortly, try to explain in English as much as possible. First one is saying, by breaking the promise, by breaking the satya, that sin let me get if I didn't came. Then Brahmarakshas rejected that. Then second he told, if I associate with another man's wife, what sin I will get? Let me get that sin if I didn't came back to you. Then Brahmarakshas told, for that and all there is so many atonements are there, he told. Then third one he told, third one is saying Pankti Peda, that if you are eating together with so many people, then if you are serving a person very nicely because he is very close to us, but for the second person we are giving some different food, some low quality food, considering him to be low and high, and we are giving different food to him and a one line. So let me get that sin, that is called Pankti Peda. Let me get that sin, he is saying. Then for that also Brahmarakshasa told, no, for that also there is some atonement is there. Then the fourth one is said, after giving charity to some person, if I accepted it again return, let me get that sin. So we know how the story of Nirga Maharaj, how he distributed cows and one cow came back to him. Later by the curse of the Brahmana, he became a lizard. So that kind of sin let me get. Then for that also Brahma Rakshas rejected. Then the fifth sin he told, after enjoying a beautiful young woman in his young age, enjoying her, then later when she became old, finding some fault in her and rejecting her. That is a very big sin. So let me get that sin, if I didn't came back to you. Then for that also Brahma Rakshasa rejected. Then the sixth sin is saying, that Nambadwan is saying, let me get the sin of enjoying sex with a wife on the day of Amavasya. For that also Brahma Rakshasa, for that also some atonement is there. So I will not accept that. Then the seventh sin is saying, one who gave food for us. So if you criticize after eating that food, if you criticize that person, let me get that sin. Then for that also Brahma Rakshasa told, no, I will not, because for that also some atonement is there. So now let me continually read all those 18 sins, whatever told by Nampadwan, and for all the sins, this Brahma Rakshasa told, no, for that atonement is there, like that. One who, let me get the sin if I didn't came. If it is the sin like that, that one person is promising for one to give his own daughter in marriage to him. After promising that, if he not kept that promise, let me get that sin. Then the ninth sin is saying, if you, without taking bath, if you eat food on the special days like Sashti, Ashtami, Amavasa, Chaturthi day, eating food without taking bath on the days of Sashti, Amavasa, Chaturthi day, let me get that sin. Then the 10th sin is saying, after promising that I will give you something, then not following that, not keeping his promise, let me get that sin. Then the 11th sin is desiring to enjoy one's own friend's wife, let me get that sin. Then the 12th sin is saying, to have lust upon, to desire to have enjoy with one's own guru's wife or the wife of a king, let me get that sin. Then the 13th sin is saying, after marrying with two wives, showing love and affection to one and neglecting the other, let me get that kind of sin. Then 14th one is saying, so one who is rejecting his chasteful wife in her youth, that is the 14th sin is saying. Then the 15th sin is saying, blocking a cow when the cow in thirsty is coming to drink water. Blocking a cow while the cow is in thirsty to drink some water, blocking and sending that, driving that cow. That is the 15th sin. For that also Brahma Rakshas told, for this also there is some atonement is there. Then the 16th is saying, Brahma Hatya Dosha, killing a Brahmana, are the sins created by Pancha Mahapapa. Let me get that sin if I didn't kill. Then for that also Brahma Rakshas didn't accept it. Then the 17th sin is saying, giving up the Krishna Vasudeva deity, Vasudeva, and worshipping other demigods. After getting Krishna, we are giving up that and worshipping the other demigods. That's in. For that also Brahma Rakshasa told. For that also there is some option, atonements are there. And finally the 18th one is said, if I didn't came today, then let me get the sin of considering the demigods to be equal with the Sriman Narayana or Vishnu. So when he told this, the Brahma Rakshas told, for this no any atonement. considering the demigods to be equal to Vishnu. For this there is no atonement. Saying that Brahma Rakshasa told, okay, now you go. I am leaving you because for this sin there is no atonement. Then saying this Brahma Rakshasa, this Nampaduvan, he went to that temple. After promising to the Brahma Rakshasa. Then Nampaduvan went to the temple. Then when he went to the temple, because he is a Chandala, he could not see the deity of the Lord. Because he was not allowed into the temple those days. The temple, every South Indian temple will have a big Garuda Stamba. Garuda Stamba and a Balipida, huge platform under the Balipida. So because of that, he could not see the darshan of the Lord. Although he is visiting, he was singing Kirtan for many years, but still now he didn't see the Lord's beautiful form. Because he was standing outside and he will sing for the pleasure of the Lord inside. So that day he told to the Lord, he came and sung beautiful song about the Lord. Then he told, my dear Lord, today is my last day. Because today when I will return, this Brahma Rakshasa is going to eat me. So it is my desire to see you, but some more unfortunate, I could not see you, my dear Lord. Due to my condition, I could not come inside. So like that he was lamenting within him and he was singing. Meanwhile, Lord, out of his mercy, in order to show him the darshan, that deity of that Tirukkurungudi temple, he told to the Garuda Stamba, please move aside, I want to show myself to my devotee. Then immediately that stone Garuda Stamba with a big foundation, the whole thing totally moved aside itself. So even now if you go to that temple, we can see that Garuda Stamba and the whole pillar, the whole thing went aside just to give darshan to this Nampaduvan, who is born in a very Chandala low class family. So Nampaduvan got the darshan of the Lord, he was very happy. Then he was again, because of he promised to that Brahma Rakshasa that I will come back. So he is going back to that Brahma Rakshasa. At the time, Lord personally appeared as an old Brahmana and told, hey Nampaduvan, you don't have to go there in such a situation, like when your daughter's marriage is fixed in order to save from the marriage. So such a condition we can tell a lie that is allowed in the Shastra. Lord compromising that, saying so many things, try to pacify him that don't go. But this Nampaduvan is, no, I am already promised, I have to go. Then he personally went to become a food for Brahma Rakshasa. But when he went, seeing his truthfulness, seeing his qualities, this Brahma Rakshasa, he became very stunned to see his quality. Brahma Rakshasa came and offered his Dandavat Pranam to this devotee and told, hey my dear devotee Nampaduvan, do not worry, I am not going to eat you, but I have one request for you. So in your whole life you have sung so many glorification of the Lord. I never seen anyone is such a truthful like you. So I am not going to eat you. I am also a Brahmana in my previous life. Due to some certain sins, I became like a Brahma Rakshasa ghost. So now I request you, I beg you, that you kindly give me the benefit, the punya, the pious activities, what you achieved by singing kirtans for the pleasure of the Lord. In that half you give to me, then I will get delivered. Then this Nampaduvan devotee told, I have not sung these songs for any punya karma or anything. I have just sung only for the pleasure of the Lord. So I cannot give you that, he said. Then the Brahma Rakshasa started bargaining. Okay, from the whatever punya you get in that, you give me 25% to me, quarter. He told, no, I cannot give that. Then he gave me 10%. Finally told, okay, don't worry, you give me whatever the punya you get, at least last night you sing one day kirtan, no? Kaisika ekadasi day. He sung that song in particular raga, that music is called Kaisika raga, tune. There are many ragas, no? Harikamboji, Shankarabaranam, Maya, Malavagaula, Todi, Bhairavi, Bhairav. So many ragas are there. These all ragas are the different personalities. So these should be only sung for the pleasure of the Lord only. Nowadays these ragas are used for the material love songs. That's a sin actually, because we are misusing that raga personality for our personal sense gratification. So in this way, this devotee sung this Kaishika raga, this song for the Lord. So this Brahma Rakshasa asked, can you give me the benefit of the song you last one night you sang, that much you give to me. Then he didn't agree. No, I cannot do that because I done only for the pleasure of the Lord. I cannot take any punya out of it. Then he bargained, at least give me half of that. Then after give me 25%. Finally he told, okay, at least give me 1/16th of that yesterday's song's punya he give to me. Then the Brahma Rakshas not leaving him. Then finally told, okay, you take it. He said like that. Just by saying, okay, take 1/16th of that one night kirtan, immediately this Brahma Rakshasa, he got delivered from this ghost body. He went back to Vaikunta itself. And Lord also took this Nampadwan also to Vaikunta. So this is for this is this beautiful history. Very nicely they will read with the explanation for the pleasure of Namperumal in Srirangam during the day of Kaisika Ekadasi. Whole night they will recite. Everybody will enjoy this katha. Whole night is how the Lord is explaining the glorious of the holy name. Anyone chants the holy name, for each letter Lord will give such a high benefit itself. But devotees doesn't like Swargaloka Vasa, therefore devotees Lord will give directly to Vaikunta, directly the spiritual world also. So in this way, Ranganathji hears for the whole day this katha. Then in the early morning, Ranganathji goes inside, Namperumal goes inside the temple. That time only they will shower this camphor and flower they will shower over the Lord. That is called Karpura Padiyatri Sevi. We already spoke about that. So in this way, Namperumal enjoys this Kaisika Ekadasi festival. So this whole story from the Varaha Puranam will be recited by this Parashara Bhatta. Regularly from those who are the descendants of Parashara Bhatta and Vedavyasa, they will recite this song, this explanation, narration for the Lord. Then that day when they recited, the Namperumal became very pleased. He told him, okay, take my Parashara Bhatta in a pallakin to his home. So from that day onwards, even now, they will take the person who read in this Kaisika Purana. After ending, they will make him to sit on a pallakin and they will be taken to his home in a pallakin by the other Brahmanas. It's called Brahmaradham, Brahmaradha Maryade. Shri Namperumal ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Kaisika Ekadasi ki jai.